For your Caesar.
It's a 10 pose production.
For your Caesar.
Rascal Beats.
For your Caesar. Cardiff City, ride with me for your Caesar. For your Caesar. Cardiff City, get litty for your Caesar. She want a diff boy. Swagger 1 point, yeah, diff boy. She want a diff boy. Swagger 1 point, yeah, diff boy. For your Caesar. Grab a little something for your Caesar. We the geezers. Swagger stone cold like freezers. She want a diff boy. She want Starvz, not fit.
Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome back to Cardiff City World. Welcome back to the channel. And a little bit of a different one. We've done the positive stuff. We've done a lot of positive stuff. We've enjoyed pre-season. But we want to have a look at the other side of it. We try to give balanced views always. So we're going to try and look at some of the worries around Brian Barry Murphy. But let's dig in. It's been a summer of change, right? Optimism, new ideas, new energy. Brian Barry Murphy's early days have looked promising. We've praised the pressing. We've praised the one-touch football, the structure, the patterns, the trust in the young players. It's been mostly positive, right? But with Peterborough United just days away, right around the corner, it's time to take off the positive, the rose-tinted glasses, the pro Brian Barry Murphy glasses, just for a second. And we're going to address and look at some very real concerns with the current squad, mainly. Today, we're going to dive into the potential cracks that could become crevices if they're not addressed in the coming weeks. And no, it's not doom and gloom. It's not negative. It's not moaning. This is just a bit of balance. It's context. And context is key to everything. It's exactly what fans should be thinking about before the curtain raiser at the Cardiff City Stadium on Saturday. We have to look at all angles. We have to look at both sides. So let's start with the youth revolution, the double-edged sword that comes with that. Now, look, we've all enjoyed seeing so many young lads given minutes in pre-season. We've seen Dylan Lawler just look like a natural more and more. We've seen Ruben Colwell playing with aggression and swagger. We've seen Joel Colwell being everywhere. We've seen Eli King state a genuine claim for a starting spot. K. Pacquiao, Spears, Louis Giles and Nyakahawa, Mafiko. The list is endless. All showing glimpses of what they're capable of. But with Perry Ng injured, Joe Rawls left, Aaron Ramsey left, the reality is, outside of a few players, this squad is under 25. That's incredibly rare at this level. Yes, there are benefits. The hunger, the energy, the aggression, the technical ability, the teachability. But there are risks, and they can be massive. So, how do they cope under pressure in a must-win game at a tough place on a Tuesday night? How do they manage the momentum swings of games? How can they stay disciplined when opposition shithousery kicks in and their people are trying to wind them up? Which it will happen. So make no mistake, every League One manager will target our kids. They will get in their heads, they will test their reactions, they will push them off the ball, mentally and physically try to dominate them. It's not their fault, it's experience, it's part of growing up as a footballer. Unless we add some older heads to ride out those moments and to help those players, that may cost us points. And I think one of the areas where you can maybe show a little bit of concern is in the fullback area. Is it too much too soon? Because when you talk about those fullbacks, Perry's out. You've got Joel Bagan, 23, is the most senior option. He's been steady. I think he's taken to the tactical side of BBM's makeup really well. He's comfortable in tight areas, etc. He's got some issues defensively, but generally speaking, I think he's settled in under Brian Barry Murphy well. On the right, you're asking a lot of two very, very young players early on in the season. Ronan Pacquiao back from a major injury. 19 is he, I think. Will Spears, 17. Both super talented, both nice and aggressive, both very good going forward, full of upside. Well, is it a bit too much to throw him in, week out, if Perry NG's return is delayed? Now, don't forget, Brian Barry Murphy likes his fullbacks to be high or to invert, and in some cases, super high, almost functioning as an additional winger. It's exciting for sure, but it does leave those centre-backs exposed in the transition. You know, if Spears is pressing high, wide, we lose the ball, who's covering that channel? Because, let's be honest, it's probably not going to be Callum Chambers because... So let's get on to Callum. Callum Chambers, leader, liability. And I want to be clear about this. Callum Chambers looked like he's the favoured centre-back, experienced option at the back. You know, obviously he's going to miss the first game. He's calm on the ball. He steps out of defence well. His passing range is real good. It's among the best out of the defenders. On paper, he seems like the perfect older partner for Dylan Lawler. The older, wiser head in a young backline. But in practice, he struggled as centre-back last year. Pre-season, he's looked a little bit suspect at times. A little bit slow on the turn, vulnerable in the channels, been rolled, ball watching. The lack of mobility in certain aspects is an issue, especially if our fullbacks are pushing high. Because if we had a flat four and the fullbacks were going to kind of sit in, you wouldn't be too worried because he's got a lot of pace around him. But the way we're pushing in and pushing up could be an issue. And this is where structure matters. Do we ask Eli King or Ryan Wintle, sitting as that single pivot, to shield Chambers and to maybe help him if we do get exposed on the transition? Again, right or left, both channels could potentially be an issue. Opposition scouts, opposition analysts, they will look at that and they will look at how high we like to pin teams back and they will try to expose us down there. So is Callum Chambers going to be a liability in that aspect? It remains to be seen, because on paper he ticks the boxes of everything we've been saying that we need. An experienced ball-playing centre-back who's been there and done it, who can help this young defence. Well, he is all those things, but he needs to switch on and be at his best, or there's going to be issues. And then we move on to the injury time bomb, fitness worries, whatever you want to sort of say, with Isaac Davis and Callum Robinson. These are your two main backup strikers, and they can both play wide as well. But when you talk about the fitness of them, they potentially huge players for Brian Barry Murphy this year. Both goal threats, both press well from the front, both link up, both can play multiple roles in his system. Both have an X factor to win tight games. Both can take the pressure off Yusuf Salic, but can both stay fit. Isaac had a scare in pre-season just the other day against Notts County. Robinson's only played 2 games where he's just come back. So let's not pretend this is a new issue. Both of their injury records over the past couple of seasons are pretty brutal. And if we lose one or both for any stretch, we're in serious trouble. I like Luke Pearce and I think he deserves an opportunity. But it's a lot of pressure if Salic and Pearce are our only striker options because Robinson and Isaac Davis are out injured. We have to think about these things. We don't have proven senior wide options. We don't have proven out-and-out wingers. We don't have a physical striker to take over from Yusuf Salic if we assume that they're saying that Luke Pearce is not ready for that. So yeah, keep him wrapped in cotton wool. But also, we have to look at what we're doing in terms of bringing players in. I think we need a winger. And on that aspect, the winger gap, the need for a direct threat is something which I think we really need to discuss. And when you speak of wide options, you've got to be honest, okay? I don't think we've got enough quality in the winger areas. Naikahawa looks promising. He's raw, he's athletic, he's skillful, can beat a man, makes really intelligent runs. His final ball, his decision making needs work because he's young. Is he going to start 30 plus games this season in a promotion charge? Probably not, but he might surprise us. But he's definitely one for rotation, for cameos, for development, to get that decision making better. So right now, who's the guy who's going to play wide? I think Isaac Davis is our best left winger. But again, it's the fitness thing. I think Kean Ashford is a really good option on the right. I think he suits the way Brian Barry Murphy wants to play. That's a good option. Outside that, I think, is where I get concerned. We've seen Colwell go there before previously. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's the best idea. You've got Ollie Tanner. Clearly has ability. Will he realise it this season? Will he stay fit this season again? There's question marks. Callum Robinson can play off the left. Fine. Not what I would do, but I can, is a way to get him in, give the side. Chris Willock, not an out-and-out wide man, more of a sort of 10 hybrid. None of them are true wide men. None of them are genuine quality that we are looking for. Someone who's direct with end product, who can commit defenders, stretch teams, and give Brian Barry Murphy the width without relying on fullbacks bombing on every time. And when you look at it in detail like that, with the injury fitness worries of some of them, we are narrow. We are narrow both in terms of the way we play, but we're also narrow in terms of depth. We are predictable when we play sometimes in that aspect, and it can be easy for other teams to compress, and we don't want to fall back into those bad habits. When we look at the Notts County game, as soon as they became a bit aggressive and physical, players started wanting to take 4 or 5 touches again and losing the ball and getting turned over. QPR, which was an excellent performance, everything was off 2-3 touches, and that was even when under pressure. And when you look at the silence in the transfer market, are City taking too long? And I think here's the crux of it. The lack of signings is a big worry. There's been a lot of work behind the scenes. The vibe is good in the squad. The players are happy. They're buying into what Brian Barry Murphy's doing. But football is about margins. And if we don't strengthen, we risk those fine margins going against us. Whether that's injuries, whether that's suspensions, whether that's form, whether that's just quality, we risk it. We're reportedly in for the goalkeeper Trott. He was on the bench recently. Who knows if that loan will come off? It's been rumoured. I haven't really heard a lot about it, but it does seem like there's at least conversations going on. We need a fullback who could probably cover both sides. I think Louis Giles is likely to go on loan to the National League. Even if he doesn't, you're looking at 4 very young fullbacks. And for his development, I think a loan is probably the best for him individually. We need someone to push Bagan and also be an option on the other side, I think. We need an aerially dominant centre-back stroke leader, someone who can organise, a real voice to help the young centre-backs settle, Lawler and Fish. I don't think I'm thinking too far outside the box with that. And then I think we need a winger. There's no question about that. We need a winger. Now, I would like to see a really mobile midfielder, a 6 or an 8, come in who can add a bit of that athleticism to our midfield and a bit of dynamism. Now, that might be because Alex Robertson leads. It might not. But that also might end up being Eli King. He might solve that problem internally. It remains to be seen. Of course, will depend on the outs. And then we've already talked about the striker position. So, and this is where it is, right? Who stays, who goes to fund the incomings? And when you talk about potential sales, to bring players in, maybe we need to let some go. We need to make some room in the squad, or we need to raise some money. We've kept our powder dry till now. The deadline is approximately a month away. Who could you cash in on to then bring some players in. I think Ollie Tanner, maybe, Chris Willock, maybe, Callum Robinson, high wage, fitness issues, maybe. Do you need a King and a Wintle if you bring in someone else? I don't know. Alex Robertson and David Turnbull, do you need both? Like, it's all going to be balanced up. If we're going to bring a keeper in, Howverth, I would imagine, will go. It's a really fascinating look into the squad, because as much as we need people, I think to bring those players in, we might have to move some out for a variety of reasons. 1 or 2 exits might allow for loans and short-term deals, probably from the Premier League, or they're like under 21 setups, or the Championship sort of fringe players. I think let's be smart. Don't need to rip out the dressing room. Build around Lawler, Salic, Ruben. You've got to keep those lads and then build around them. I'm not saying Cardiff City are doomed. I'm not saying this is all negativity. I'm just trying to give a bit of balance for what has been a lot of positivity out of pre-season from this channel. Brian Barry Murphy has brought energy. He's brought identity. He's brought clarity. We are seeing progress, clear and obvious progress. But that progress needs support from the board and the recruitment team. The squad, as so far, seem to be buying into it. So as promising as it is, that same squad has some soft spots. We're asking a lot from young players. So we're also depending a lot on fitness records that, if history tells us anything, probably can't be trusted. We're lacking a bit of balance, lacking a bit of width, and we're lacking a bit of experience, especially in the key moments. So the question is, are the board and the owner going to back Brian Barry Murphy, or is he being asked to overachieve with one hand tied behind his back with a load of kids? That is the question, and that question will remain to be asked probably till the season ends, but it will certainly be asked until the end of this transfer window. Peterborough's up on Saturday, and we're going to find out a lot more about this team, this squad, and this manager. But we'll also find out a little bit more about this board and this owner. What is happening? It's time to put up or show up. Shut up, in my opinion. Let us know in the comments what one signing you think would make the biggest difference to this squad. And if you had to make one sale to make that happen, who would you move out from the squad? As always, guys, please do like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff to the video. And if you're not a member, please do become a member. Patreon.com/acepodcastnation, or just hit join on the Cardiff City World YouTube page. Those memberships, every single one, is vital to what we are doing. Price of a cup of coffee per month. You get a member show every week. You get there's going to be members sort of special videos that only go out to members, and that's going to be kind of cool. They'll be filmed out on location and stuff like that. And then also you get 24 hours early access to tickets to the live events. But most of all, you just support what we do, and you allow us to make Cardiff City content 7 days a week. And we are completely independent. By fans, for fans. This has been Cardiff City World. This has been the Spotlight, looking at some of the worries with this Cardiff City squad. But until then, Aaron Wildig, former Cardiff City midfielder, is on with Rob and Rhys tonight, so make sure you check out that live. And then tomorrow night, me and Evan will be back for the Terrace Take. Lots of stuff coming up, including our match day preview for Peterborough. I'm sure me and Aaron are back on Friday as well, so we've got loads of stuff coming up. Still got an Omar Risa interview to come out. We've just had a little problem with the edit. No big, huge issue. It's just become a lot more time-consuming than first planned. It'll be here soon enough. Anyway, you look after yourselves, keep the faith, and I'll see you in a bit. Nice one.
Maxwell Beats.
For your Caesar. Cardiff City ride with me for your Caesar.